Hello internet folk, my name's Dominic. Let's have another random ramble. With today's topic being oh dear. KS Addict. Now I don't want people to worry, KS is not like a new form of drug. It's not like an abbreviation for ketamine or anything like that. No. Me and drugs, never. No. The only drugs I'll ever have is alcohol. Yeah, that's technically a drug. Yay! Learning something new every day. KS stands for Kickstarter. This is a website which is doing something really awesome. If people have a project or something they'd like to create or do, they can just go online and say, hey, I'm doing this project. Anybody want to fund me? You'll get awesome rewards and cool stuff. I was actually introduced to the idea of crowdfunding with Kickstarter. I was actually introduced with a website called Indiegogo. The difference here is with Kickstarter, only if it reaches the target goal they say will your money be taken. With Indiegogo, any money gets used. So, I quite like that idea. It's a very good one for charities, Indiegogo, whereas Kickstarter is definitely for projects. Me and my brother really loved this game called Skullgirls, so I loved the idea of it. There was something about it that was crazy and different. It was a 2D fighting game. Anyway, due to legal issues and complications, they weren't able to do the DLC that they wanted. A character called Squiggly. She's quite cool. I like her. So they were asking for funding for it, so me and Stefan went, yeah, let's do it. And this was the first time when I got to learn kind of the rush of these kind of projects. Firstly, if it reaches its goal, you're like, excellent, I've got a thing. And then if it reaches what are known as stretch goals, this is where they put, if we have a certain amount of extra money, we can do more things. With this game, Skullgirls, it meant that we weren't just getting one DLC character, we got Squiggly, Big Band, Eliza, Beowulf, and a extra stupid character called Robo Fortune. Let me. But now I go on Kickstarter like once a week just to see if there's any projects. I'm not doing that much funding now, but I did have at the time about 6 projects which were all being currently made. Like one of them was this game. Yeah, I'm picking everything up upside down recently, it's quite weird. Shut Up and Sit Down, the board game website I go on, talked about that this was a Kickstarter project. Now, it had already been a game, but it was just a way of getting it looking shiny and nicer with awesome artwork. But the company behind it, Indie Board and Card Games, also created a game that I really wanted called The Resistance. And when I looked at the levels of funding you can do, then I just went, hey, there's one way to get coup and The Resistance. Yes, please. So here are a few tips for you if you are actually going to go on Kickstarter and start looking at projects and see whether to back or not. Number 1. Only back a project if you really think you're going to like it. Now, every single project I've backed, yes, they've been good. All the ones that have come through, they've looked amazing. Most of them have been like board and card games. I've done a couple of games as well, like computer games, but mainly board and card games. But firstly, make sure you absolutely know you're going to love it, because in a few months' time, because you're not going to get it straight away. It's not like you're purchasing something, it's more like a pre-order-ish kind of thing. Number 2, expect delays. It's very rare for a Kickstarter project to be released completely on time, completely done, and gone, yep, we're cool. Because most of these people are either newish to this kind of thing or must cope with loads of issues that come along the road. For example, one of the games I've kickstarted called Epic Death, I kickstarted it was supposed to be delivery last November. We still haven't got it due to production issues, manufacturing costs and stuff like that that's got in the way. Number 3. Do your research. Seriously, with Kickstarter, it's always better to go for somebody who has had previous experience in something. For example, with Coup, I knew that Indie Board and Card Games had done the Resistance. So I knew that they were going to be a good company, they would do it as best their ability, and it would be a good game. They wouldn't put their name to it if it wasn't. Or another thing I've kickstarted, kind of, it's a bit strange how me and my brother have done it, is Project Phoenix. This is a video game which is going to be a turn-based strategy kind of game, but what they did was they listed off, this is everybody who's going to be working on this game, and told you every single person. They've even got Nobuo Uematsu, the composer from the Final Fantasy games. I'm so excited. But when you see a list of credentials like that, that's good. Number 4. Beware of delivery/import charges. It may say it's only costs $20 to back, but there might be a $10 charge for delivery. And so it costs $30 overall. And then you may have import charges for some things if they're not clever with that. And my brother had an issue with this one time, and he had like an import charge of like £30 on top of everything else. So, And number 5, expect occasionally for a project to fail. You see, unlike pre-orders, you're not saying, I want this product which is definitely there. Sometimes games or things or events get cancelled, or they don't get the funding they want. For example, I backed a game called Zombie, which was going to be set in the land of Oz with the idea of that the Scarecrow's taken over, and it seemed really cool. And it was by American McGee. The guy did these really interesting Alice games. It would be amazing. But stuff came up, things happened, and the project was cancelled. Luckily for me, this was before it got funded, so I didn't have to worry about refunds or anything like that, or my money going wasted. But sometimes projects get cancelled afterwards, because people either bit off more they can chew, or something just wasn't going to work right. And so, be aware of that, because it can and does happen. I hope this has been like a good introduction to what Kickstarter is, and you should go and check out, because there's some really awesome cool stuff that gets put on there every day, from art installations to musical CDs to video games and board games to the theatre. I'm pretty sure there was a production of American Psycho that was put on Kickstarter. That's pretty damn cool. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, I hope you enjoyed this random ramble, and I will see you next time the camera gets switched on. Bye!